Welcome to the Activated Entrepreneur Podcast. And I have another very special guest on the show today. I cannot wait for you all to meet her. Shannon Weston, the owner of Vibe Foods, one of my amazing clients who I love and adore, is on with us today, taking time in her busy schedule. I'm telling you, this woman is busy, but she's carving out some time for us today to share her wisdom on how she's built her business and she's just taking it to the next level. She has a lot of exciting things to share today. But welcome to the show, Shannon. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
We are.
Okay, so I want you to share with our audience just your origin story, like how this all became to be. Like how did Vibe Foods come to be and where is Vibe Foods? Tell us all
Yeah.
the things.
So it's kind of I'm going to try and make it as short as
You
possible. My
don't need
husband
to.
and I have 4 kids, and our third child was born, and he had a ton of issues that just started literally from the day he was born. It was all kinds of skin issues. His hair was falling out. He was sick all the time. We went from doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor. We were offered a bazillion prescriptions, no answers as to why. And meanwhile, we were just living, our total American lifestyle, driving through places, grabbing food, just trying to survive with our 2 careers and our 4 kids. It took us until 2008, and we really had to get outside the matrix. And we found out, we got to the root cause of what his issues were, and it was 100% food for him. And I was really excited, and I was also really pissed because we had been through a meat grinder and he had been through a meat grinder for unnecessarily for 8 years. And we had to make some really hard pivots because, this was 2008 and there wasn't a lot of information on the internet, or, not a lot of things about food allergies or celiac, or nothing really gluten-free. So we really had to strongly pivot and go deep down a rabbit hole and really figure out what is in everything that we're eating. And what was really cool about it was it took about 6 weeks and all of his labs were normal. And he went on to not just survive this issue, but to thrive. And he's,
Amazing.
graduated top of his class and played college football. And he was like impervious to injury, knock on wood. He went from a little mess to like a little success. And so it's just, for me, it became a passion to really understand how toxic most of our food is, and to find alternative ways to, live that really, all of us got a lot healthier from going through this. So that's kind of where this all started.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of kept going on. Years later, I worked as an exec for an insurance company and had a very high level job, very stressful job. I had 200 employees. Finally kind of hit, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, and wanted to take a break. And I did. And in that year, I was running all the football tailgates. I was like running ragged because that's how I am. I just have too much energy to be chill. And my kids kept saying, we should start this business.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know, like it's a lot. I don't know anything about running a restaurant. And they kind of bullied me into it, legitimately bullied me into it, told me, they appealed to my competitive side, and they're like, well, somebody else is going to do it and they're not going to do it well. And then you're going to be mad. Like, why didn't I do this? So I just took the plunge and decided to do it. And our it's a family owned company. It's independent. We've bootstrapped it completely. We've, got help from friends and family and, ideas. And it's been quite an adventure. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been in the front, not the front seat, but the passenger seat with you for a little bit, and I'm like, holy moly, it's bringing me back to my bar days. It's a lot to own a brick and mortar. I'll tell you, people don't understand what it takes, and especially with your mission and how you just take this all such to heart. Like you do you do the most in this space and highest quality of everything. And I don't think people understand what it takes to bring the quality of your type of nutritional value to the market to market. But what were the first steps you took from idea to actual storefront? Right? What was the moment where you knew this was going to work too?
Yeah. So I started floating the idea. I was so lucky that I have like a really good, I guess, for lack of a better term, personal board of directors, people that have known me for a long time, knew my passion about this. They're all brilliant in their own segments of whatever they do. And so I spent, a few weeks just sitting down with friends and saying, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What is your feedback? And of course, a lot of people are like, a restaurant, run like hell. Get your shoes on and run.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, but I want it to be not really, I mean, yes, that the restaurant is the vehicle for us, but it's
Mm.
not like the mission is really what it is. We're accomplishing it through food service, but it's more the bigger picture of helping people live a better life, making educational, impact on people, opening their eyes the way mine were opened. And so, anyway, I was so lucky. Like I have a friend, she's a senior vice president at a bank, and I'm like, okay, well, please don't judge me, but like I have no idea how money when you run a credit card ends up in the bank over here. Like, is it magic or like what goes on?
Right.
And she was like, oh my gosh.
Let me help you.
Totally. So many, but we all have like a network of people that are cheering. Like, luckily, I had people who are really cheering us on, and also people that just know a lot about a very, specific amount of things. And so, as an entrepreneur, I always recommend to people tap into your network. People want to help. People who are cheering for you want to see you be successful. They want to contribute to the world with their knowledge. And so, I was so lucky to have that, which really helped us kind of, kick the ball down the field.
That's awesome. And what was your first location? Where was your first location at?
First location was Lone Tree. That was our first and only location until 2020, which was, a great year to expand. Woo, timing.
I know that. Oh gosh, yeah. As a restaurateur and someone who's signing a lease, it's frightening. How did you get through that time?
It was really challenging because,
Yeah.
we signed 2 leases and one of them was out of state. We couldn't even travel there. All of our equipment was not coming in. People, like, I could literally write a book about the nonsense that was going on. It was
You
insane.
have to write your book, Shannon,
I
because
know.
just even being in the short time that I've been with you, I've been like, oh my gosh, whoa, this is intense.
It was intense. So that it was. And then, like there was all this government help and stuff going
Yeah.
on. But when you're growing, most everything
Mhm.
was based on sales year over year. So when you're adding locations, it does not look like you're suffering from the pandemic, even though you might have now 4 locations when you only had 1, so there was just a kind of a lot of that type of stuff as well. So, I mean, we're so grateful. We're still standing. We learned a lot of lessons. We got really scrappy. We had to pivot. We didn't have a choice. I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And we are quite strong right now. So
Yeah, you're crushing it. I'm so proud of you. So how has being a mom influenced the way you show up as a business owner?
it influences literally everything. I mean, we're kind of doing this out of our story of, my son, but also, I really care so much about helping people figure out how to live their best life and how
I
to,
do.
eat to win every single day. And when I
Mm.
look at like the poison that we were putting in our family's mouth constantly, it really upset me because I just didn't know. I trusted that the government had this under control and the FDA had definitely inspected all this stuff. And when you really start paying attention, it's actually like a rabbit hole. It's hard to come out of, and it's actually a really balance not to go too deep because you're never going to get back out. You got to kind of like stay in the bunny hole where it feels pretty good,
Yes.
you feel safe,
Right.
but like not,
Yes.
yeah. So kind of
Mhm.
did that for a while. And, I look at like our business as a family. Like we have a lot of my friends work there that are,
Mhm.
their kids are grown and they just want to do something to help the world too, have something that's fun because we have like the best customers. That's how I met you. I mean,
Mhm. Mhm.
just great, great people coming in. And we have so many young people that work there that they leave and they come back and we get to be part of their life. So even though my kids are kind of grown now, I get to still sort of be a mom to all these other kids. So being a mother and, when you are a mother, it's like your heart is for watching something grow and watching
Yeah.
people grow. And this is
Mhm.
a perfect fit for me. So
Yeah, it's amazing. I love seeing I met your daughter and I was like, I just love all of it. Like they're just so pumped. I haven't met your son yet. I'm hoping to meet him one day. And so he was working at the one that so you just so our audience know the other 2 locations were Memphis, correct?
yes, yep, they're in
Yes.
Tennessee.
Yep. Yep. And so he went to school there. So kind of tell us about that.
Yeah, so he went there for school. He went to a great
Yeah.
school, went to play football, and he can't have anything with gluten. Now, I will say, in the last 5 years, the Memphis food scene has gotten amazing. But at the time, he'd be the only one on the bus without anything to eat after a game. There just
Mhm.
wasn't any options that were gluten free, and so we were spending a lot of time out there. We love the city. It is one. If anyone's listening to this, go to Memphis. It is fun. It's historical. It's hip happening. It's so cool. The culture there is amazing. The people there are amazing. But, you know, we were there and we just thought, gosh, this city needs a little bit of health, a little bit of vibe. Yes, exactly.
What vibe?
We were interviewing people during COVID because that was,
Mhm.
you know, all of a sudden we had to like basically do everything over Zoom to hire people. There were
Mm,
people that worked there for a year and a half. I never saw their face. Because
Shannon, crazy.
in person they had to be masked up. And, you know,
Oh,
I would stand way back and be like, hey, can you just lift up your mask? I really want to see your face. We weren't working together for a long time. I want to see what you look
yeah,
like.
it's gonna be
I can
okay.
hear your smile. But you know, when we were interviewing people, people were very much volunteering how many of their family members and people had diabetes and other
Mm.
ailments. I wasn't clearly that's not an interview question I like to ask or I ask. But people were just volunteering and it really made me realize that the city needed this. So
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to share with our audience, you're just such a humble person. And what I really want to just shine light on is that in Memphis, my understanding, because you take the highest grade of organic food, right? And you know, fruits and vegetables, where in Memphis, there's not access to that. And that's just very unfortunate. So you had to, correct me if I'm wrong, either you had to go across state lines, right, to South Carolina
mhm.
to get the standard of quality of fruit and vegetables that met your standards. And so there's a lot of people who would not go to that extent to bring that type of quality to market. So I just want to give you a huge shout out to that because that's not easy to do, right? So what did that look like?
You know, it was really hard because like when we juice, I'm 100% like there's some things in our store that aren't organic. Because we can't supply wise get them, but we make sure it's been vetted for all the other things.
Mhm.
95% of our stores are organic. Juice is 100% organic all the time because you take 2.5 pounds to make one juice. And if that has
Mhm.
pesticides, herbicides, you couldn't eat 2.5 pounds. I mean, maybe you could eat 2.5 pounds, but you certainly couldn't have that 4 times, like for a juice
Wow.
cleanse, 10 pounds
Right.
of vegetables. And if that
I
has pesticides and
had no
stuff in
time
it,
for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're like drinking that, So
Yeah.
I won't touch juice that's conventional. That's just me. And I won't serve juice that's conventional. And so for us getting organic produce, we couldn't find a single supplier. I had to go to Indiana and to South Carolina to have those brought in. Like even basic things like finding peanut butter that's just peanuts because that's all we'll do, or almond butter that's just almonds. Like that's the only ingredient. There's no cottonseed oil, palm oil, corn syrup solids, all this nonsense. I couldn't even find that in most stores. Like we would have to go to like Costco to get one particular brand of peanut butter because I couldn't even find it in the food service world. We started having our granola made for us because especially during COVID, what we noticed was we had a very high standard of naturally gluten-free granola. People were shifting ingredients like crazy based on the
Ah, yeah.
supply chain. So what
Yeah.
would be okay in my mind, because we have no seed oils either. We have one, I should say that we have 196 ingredients. We have one ingredient that has seed oil. We're about to replace that. It's organic. It's very small, but I still just want it
Mhm.
out. So we found somebody to make our granola, and our sweetener is maple syrup. It's got coconut oil, it doesn't have canola oil, because we just kept seeing these concoctions, like things were just changing like crazy. And we'd have a customer come in and say, oh, do we have pecans in the granola? I'm like, no. And then I'd look at the label. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, but we have canola and we have where did the corn syrup come
Mhm.
from?
Yeah.
And
Where did that
granola.
sneak in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Hmm.
telling you, every acai place, 100%,
Hmm.
if you look at their granola, it's full of crap. It is not a healthy food at all. And our oats are organic, like everything. So we had to ship the granola from Colorado to Memphis so that they could have the same like clean granola. And I mean,
Hmm.
it's tricky because I think a lot of our customers wouldn't know,
No,
wouldn't
they wouldn't know
care.
that.
And
No.
some really wouldn't care, but like I care. I'm not going to feed. Perfect example of that is there was a lemon shortage, organic lemon shortage. And so we needed lemon juice that was bottled for a recipe because we were saving the organic lemons for our juice. And I sent my husband on a 60-mile Dora the Explorer backpack adventure to find lemon juice. And every store he would take a picture. He's like, how about this one? I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? We've got 3 preservatives and a chemical. Well, one of them that you'll look, if anyone at home has lemon juice, look at your bottle. It has sodium benzoate in it. If you Google it, sodium benzoate, when it's added to ascorbic acid, vitamin C turns into a benzene, which can cause leukemia. Now, lemons are a natural preservative. Why in God's green earth do we have those kind of stabilizers and preservatives in lemon
Ah,
juice? And
mm,
it's so gross. And it's like, I mean, anyway, we got it. We got what we needed. But I thought our customers don't know and
No clue.
do,
Still
but
have no clue.
yeah,
I don't have that understanding either. You
yeah,
know,
I mean,
it's
it is
so
like
hard.
our baseline in our country is when so like there's a lot of people that do like lemon juice in the morning with their hot water and they're like, I'm
Yeah.
cleansing my liver, but I'm like, yeah, but like what else are you what else are you bathing it in? And that's
Oh,
like natural. That's just how it is. I mean, everything is like that. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes like you can't worry too much. You gotta just do your
yeah.
best,
Yeah.
because worry isn't good for
It'll
us
make,
either. But
no.
but that's coming from a girl who worries about every ingredient in her store. So take that with a grain of salt.
Well,
So
I love that. And, and I think there is a shift coming. I mean, gosh, here you have Europe who's already said no, 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 and we're still putting stuff in foods that we shouldn't. We know better and they know better, but money is just the leading force in so many things. And I do feel like there's a shift. And thank you for being a pioneer because I mean, you introduced this in 2008 and we found out my husband was gluten sensitive in 2013 and removed it. And we can tell whenever he eats gluten, it strips him of he gets inflamed, his stomach, he's just a wreck, his I mean, it wrecks him. And so finding good gluten-free food for a long time was so difficult, right?
so hard. It was
And
so hard.
yeah, and anytime I have I'm just like obsessed with it and I'm like, I feel better. It's the best stuff. Oh, and what did I bring home for him? I had the brownie and is it the tahini,
The
yellow
blondie.
blondie?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
That
are
was
so
delicious
good.
too. Okay. So
Um,
is that all made in store or do you outsource for those?
no, we make everything. We don't outsource
Oh,
anything other
wow.
than the granola. That's the only thing
Gotcha.
we can't.
Okay.
But
Wow.
yeah, we make everything. And I mean, when we
Wow.
had to go gluten free in
Mm.
2008, I was like, what are we gonna do? And because
Yeah.
I mean, I'd become a pretty good cook, but
There's
I looked at my
nothing.
son and he's like shoving donuts in his mouth. We're in Maui, and I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be ridiculous. We found
So
our
bad.
first gluten free pizza, and I was like, look, buddy, we can have pizza. This is gonna be awesome. And I took a
Yeah.
bite, and I was like, this is never fucking gonna be awesome.
No,
This is horrible. Like,
no,
oh my God, we're gonna die. Like, how could like pizza is like my love language,
no.
my comfort food, and thinking that was going to be the best I was ever going to have was so depressing because
Mm.
people like food connects us to our culture, our memory,
Yes.
our background.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
so powerful. And
Hmm.
like to have like that's what I love about Vibe is that we can work with whatever people's diets are to be like we get a ton of people that walk in off the street and they've just maybe had a tough diagnosis or they've just found out they can't eat this or they can't eat that. And it's like yeah, I mean, some people would say big deal, just eat something else, but it really is emotional for people. So for us to be able to say, okay, but here's what you can have, like try this and watch their face light up, like, okay, healthy food, what I can eat is actually delicious.
Hmm.
That's like the best for us because I've
Yeah.
lived that. Like I used to have to send my poor son to birthday parties with his own like homemade cupcake, like I mean, I was like, you're like the weird kid with his own cupcake. Like, sorry
Yeah. Well,
about
my
that.
husband even still feels it even now. We've come in an age of like allergy sensitivities are pretty common and he even he feels like he's being kind of a nuisance. And I was like, babe, you have to advocate for yourself, and especially in restaurants. I don't trust restaurants. I just
Mm-mm.
don't. I'm
Mm-mm.
like, especially when the like serve it, they don't understand what gluten is, or if they're like, huh? Because my husband's like, do you have a what's it called? Angry Orchard or like a cider beer because he can't have regular beer. And they're like, no, what is even that? It's just this whole thing. And he
Yes.
gets so down. And I'm like, oh, babe, it's gonna be okay. But yeah, some of these gluten-free options out there, I'm just so everything that you guys have is just out of this world. So tell us about the shifts happening for Vibe and some of the exciting things going on if you can.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Like we've consolidated our store footprint a little bit. So we're now just in Colorado. Marshall, like we would have loved to stay in Memphis forever, but just all of what I was explaining earlier made it really difficult. And we want to serve as many people as we can, and we want to get our message out. So consolidating a little bit was actually good because we are launching our online store. So
Yay!
our website, www.lovelovevibefoods.com. You can go on there and order our organic bone broth, where we literally go to the farms. Like I'm going to the farm Friday What's today? Thursday? I don't even know what today is, but
Wednesday.
yeah, going to the farm to
Yeah.
film the farmers. Like, we're really picky. We want to make sure the animals are fed appropriately, that they're treated appropriately. I'm a huge animal lover. I'm also a carnivore. Reconciling that can be difficult. So for me, working with vendors that actually honor the animal and treat them with respect the way they're intended to be treated, I feel like yields a better product in the store.
Totally.
And I vote with my dollar with everything that we do, because even though I'm just one small person, if I can, vote with my dollar, share, help these other businesses be successful, it just makes other farmers want to act the same way. So that's really important. So anyway, I digress on that. But our bone broth, which is amazing, that's one of our
Love
top
it.
sellers. I used to have to beg people to try it years
So
ago.
good.
And it's good. Thank you. It takes us days to make it, but it's really healing. Our paleo baked goods, I guess I should say they're almost all paleo, with one that has a little bit of grain in it, but it's organic. They're just no refined sugars. So everything's like dates or maple syrup or coconut sugar. And you taste like you're having this like gooey, ooey brownie, and it doesn't have any grains. It doesn't have any refined sugar. It has
So
all the good
delicious.
stuff, like the raw cacao and, fiber, protein, good fats, good macros. And it tastes good. So those are going on live now too. We have donuts, we have really fun stuff. And then our organic juice, which again, there's a lot of places selling juice nationwide online. I'm like, none of it's organic, none of it's raw. It's all been, or I just
Full with
fresh. Like, you can say
yeah.
raw if it's been pasteurized, fresh. So nobody has fresh. We do. So we've been working on all of that. So we're super excited. And then another thing that we're doing, and we have a lot of new stuff coming out. We're moving into some more savory things, which I'm so excited. That's going to take about a month and a half, but some really cool new things that are more hearty, more protein forward. We've got the recipes all dialed in. We just got to get one project
I
done.
can't wait for those.
Yeah, you'll be the first to try it.
Yay.
I'll be in for a taste test. And then one thing that I'm so excited because I'm working with you on is, it's really a passion of mine to share like the journey to going from standard American diet to, healthy diet. And I have found
Isn't that sad to say?
it is.
It's so sad to say.
It is so crazy and
Yeah.
it's so intimidating. And most people would love to feel better. They definitely will do anything for their kids. Like, I'm not sure we would have ever changed if it wasn't for our son. Like, you only do, you'll do anything for your kids, maybe not for yourself. But as a mom, over and over, I hear this message that it's hard to move to a clean diet for 3 reasons. Typically, some people have other reasons, but usually it's time. And I can resonate with that. Like 4 kids, 2 jobs, traveling, for work, like dogs, like how am I going to do this? I mean, we got stripped down to the bone on how am I going to do this? Also taste. People think food that's healthy is not good or satisfying. And I can totally, I used to think that, and I can tell you once you really have well-made healthy food, you'll never want to go back. Like, there's things I used to drink a big fat Coke every time I was pregnant. I'm like, oh, if I ever had that now, I'd gag, but it's like your taste buds adjust. And then last, so it's like time, it's taste. And then the last thing is money. And people really feel like eating healthy is expensive, and it can be. It really can be, but I can show people how it can be the same, maybe even less, and how the time piece of it, there's lots of ways to cut it up, cut that time down, and the taste is awesome. So I'm working on, with you on a project to be able to share that message, to be able to teach people. This is a really easy roadmap to do it. Like, literally you could throw anything at me. I swear, I say that, I don't want to get stumped, but like, throw me a food that your son loves that he can't eat. And I'm like, oh, here's how you could make it. Because I've lived all that, not only with the gluten piece of it, but with multiple food allergies throughout our kids, through dealing, with lots and lots of customers who have tons of food allergies, working with all different types of ingredients. So, that's just something I'm excited to share, because I have a real heart for that, because knowing how changing our son's diet changed the trajectory of his life, and also the trajectory of ours, just by proximity to it. But most importantly, as a parent, you're only as happy as your least happy child. And, when you have a kid that's struggling, who cares about you? You can't be happy. So like, to be able to watch your children thrive and feel as they should feel, there's no greater thing. And that's a gift that I want to be able to share to people, with people.
Huge legacy piece, Shan. And I'm just so honored to be walking alongside you in that. And yeah, I feel like anytime I have some kind of like sickness and like you've given me such good tips, you've been in my DMs and I've like posted and you're like, use this. And we're so aligned with a lot of the like naturopath stuff. And and I think we both agree like there's a time where Western medicine meets natural, but at the same time, I think we hit it with like the core, like really what is going on, like the root cause of stuff. And a lot of people don't do that because we're just masking things. And so you're really, really getting down to people's health. This is like, this is, breaking generational curse stuff. This is like really letting people thrive. And I'm just so in awe of you and the work that you're doing. So, okay. So just vision and impact kind of in close. What impact are you most proud of on customers, your team, or your family?
Oh my gosh. That's, I'm just so grateful.
Yeah.
Well, so my family, I'm just
Yeah.
grateful they're healthy and happy,
Yes.
as all of us are with our children.
Mm.
With my business, I am so happy that we've survived some really tough times. I mean, my husband and I, like our
Laughing about
retirement,
it
we
now.
put our retirement right on the line. Let's do
Woo!
it. Let's
And
double
people
down.
don't get that. And I really want
Yeah.
to bring that home to our listeners right now. I have such a heart for brick and mortar owners because I own one too with my family. And you are literally putting it all on the line.
Yep. Yep.
And when people, I feel like Yelp and all of this like Google stuff has to be thrown out because people don't understand what it takes to take the highest quality of product of what you guys are doing and bring it to market. Like what you have to do in the back end. And then all the stuff that you have to do with employees and landlords and health
Cost of
codes
goods and
and
supply
cost of
chain.
and just the world. And
Mhm.
it's really I really wish I could just like open up. It's like look underneath the table, y'all, what it takes to run a business before you just start getting impatient or being unkind or really just like we're human, let us fix the problem, right, versus you going just rampant. Like we've had this conversation. I can't, but I just again kudos to you and the work that you're doing. It's so needed because if we don't have our health, we have
Yeah.
nothing.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm very much a proponent of fueling yourself with the best stuff, and you guys have it. So um, if you could go back to day one and whisper a piece of advice to yourself, and you like run for the hills. No, really, like because as an entrepreneur, you want to burn it down. Like there's always moments where you're like, I don't know. I've had this conversation over and over with people on this podcast. If you don't want to quit it once or every week or cry or just like laughing yourself because you're just like, what is
Mhm.
this? What am I even doing here? But
I,
what piece of advice would you give yourself that would help our listeners? Um, and what would it be? What would it be?
yeah, I would have been like, COVID's coming like a week before it did.
Don't
Hold tight,
sign
COVID's
everything.
coming.
Yes, yes. I know. Isn't that it's so crazy. I can't imagine, my parents went through COVID with their bar, and I felt like I was reliving my bar experience because I signed a 2 10-year option and redevelopment came in and forced us out. So it is just so many things against you. But the exciting thing is that you are going online. You are huge impact with your digital products. So if you are listening and you want to reach out to Shannon, like I'm telling you, she doesn't give herself enough credit. She is a wealth of knowledge. I mean, I think this woman is just like the most beautiful healer, most beautiful human. And can you kind of share some actually like insider scoop of like some fun things that just happened at this retreat that you were at, or how does that feel?
Yeah,
Can
so
we know?
I'm been working on, because it's just such a grind, as you know, being an entrepreneur. You're in the arena all day and you're like,
All
wait,
day.
it's got a 1-star review because we don't have Splenda. Like, okay, like I'm sorry, homie, we ain't never gonna have Splenda. We're never like, please stop. What? And so I was like, this year is the year that I am going to do some things, get out of my comfort zone and start like living a little bit more, not reacting to life, but being more proactive with life. So I went to I don't know what inspired me to do this. And then I had nightmares after I signed up for it, but it was a sauna retreat with like cold plunging, which I love that. I love that kind of stuff. And it was a hike and it was with just a really inspiring group of people that, and so I just hit the button.
Where was this at? Where was it located?
In Georgia. So like I had to
Okay.
get to Georgia and I had to drive into the hills and
Oh, wow.
I didn't know anybody. Like at my age, like I barely ever go anywhere. I can't even think the last time I went somewhere where I knew nobody and you have to like try to meet people and you're all like, hi, my name is Shannon. Like I felt like I was going to summer camp or something. I was like, what? And then like, okay, I just have to tell the story really fast.
Yeah, please do. You don't have to be fast. It's great.
So I was like nervous kind of because I'm like, I'm going to get in a swimsuit with strangers and like in really close quarters. And I'm not like a big stranger person. And I was just like, what? I don't know why I did this, but I was excited because the person who's throwing it is somebody that I really look up to. So, and an entrepreneur that's just very passionate and very, has really good like things to say about work-life balance and stuff. So anyway, I, pull up, I'm kind of nervous and I park my car and it's at this ranch and it's at this lower level. And I get out and there's two gentlemen, they got out of their cars and they're like, hey, are you here for the retreat? I'm like, yeah, we're just chit chatting. And we're like, gosh, is this where we're supposed to be? And there's chickens and goats and it's beautiful. But I'm like, I don't know. And all of a sudden this lady comes flying down the hill in her SUV and she's like, no, you guys have got to get to the top and that's where you park. And I'm like, oh, and this is like the super street. So I get back in my rental car and they're gone and I'm like, and I start it and it won't start. And I'm like, and I'm like, hitting it and it won't start. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then all of a sudden I realized I took the little clicker to see if it was that. It wasn't my car. I was in somebody else's car. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I jump out, I jump into my car and I'm like, okay. So I'm like hauling ass up the hill and I'm like, okay. And it's super steep. It's only one way in and one way out. And I'm going and all of a sudden I'm like, where's my phone? And I'm like, oh, I left it in the stranger's car. So now I have to figure out how to like turn around on this little, like seriously steep, like scary road and get back. And, but there could be people coming up. So I'm like, oh my God. So then I get there and they've blocked it off with trucks. So nobody else makes that mistake and parks in that lot. And I'm thinking, what if this person's left? How will I even find my phone? I have the notification silenced. I was like, oh my God. So I had to like four-wheel around the corner and then I ran like a thief in the night and I saw it. It was the only car left. And I'm like opening their car and I'm like, oh my God, here's my phone. I mean, I was just like, I had like sweat. Like I was like, I don't even need to get in a sauna. I am so sweaty and like stressed out right now.
Yeah.
But then I got there and it was like the best day. It was awesome. I met some really cool people. And then the first
Do you know whose car you were in?
I have no idea. To this day, I have no idea whose car I got in and left my phone, but thank God it was still there. So I was like, okay, all right. Everything else is now no big deal. Like this,
I got this.
This is fine. I
Let's
already
get naked. Okay.
I had full cardio, full sprinting. I had sauna, internal sauna going from my sweat, from being stressed. Yeah. But it was the best day. And then I had brought a few of our baked goods. I just thought, I'll just throw them down and see if people want them because it's like an all-day thing for hiking and stuff. And then everybody loved them. And I got my first big order. And I was
Can we share who your first big order was from?
Yeah, it was Jesse Eisler.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah. So
yeah, he's so cool. How was it meeting him? How was it meeting him?
You know, people say don't meet your heroes or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that, but he is just like he is.
Yeah.
Just like he is. Solid family person, brilliant, funny. Yeah, he was absolutely amazing, welcoming, not like pretentious at all.
Right.
Just a great, great human. And he built like a great tribe of humans around him because everybody that was there was really awesome. I met some new people that I'm like, oh, I'm sure we're going to be friends. Like they were just, so yeah, so it was super fun. It was one of those things I never went with the intention of like trying to sell our product.
No, it never happened.
I just left him on the table. I didn't even.
Yeah, you're like, hi, this is me.
I know.
Yeah. And you're like,
I'm like almost like,
don't talk to me.
I know, and if they don't like them, they didn't come from me. Like I was being
Right?
really like low key about it, but he
Yes,
really liked them. And I
of
got a
course.
DM, really nice DM from him today saying he was obsessed with them because I shipped them. And so we're going to do some more things together, which will be great. So,
So cool,
and
Shannon.
he's a
See?
big health and wellness person.
Yeah.
That's like his jam. So that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huge. And I think the lesson, or not even the lesson, but the message to our listeners is that put yourself in uncomfortable situations because that's where growth happens. And had you not gone, I mean, I think this is just like the catalyst, this
Yeah.
right to what can be, and just giving you like this confidence boost. And I mean, he wants to do more things with you, and he has such a broad audience and community, and that's just more eyes on you, and you guys align. So, what a super cool experience. I'm really proud of you. When you told me, I was like, wait, what?
It
Is
was so random. Literally
that-
like I clicked the button and then I laid awake and then I had bad like dreams all night about what did I just sign up for? Like I
Yeah,
gotta go. I mean, I paid, now I gotta figure out how to go. But it was awesome. It was super fun. So I'd highly recommend that to everybody and anybody, to like you said, get out of your comfort zone and
do
just
it. Just do it today. Life is short.
yeah. And if
Life is
nothing had
short.
come from it at all, it didn't matter. The most I was hoping to get out of it was what I got out of it, which was a
Yeah.
great day of just fun and good advice and nice people. And so, yeah, I didn't expect it to take the turn it did, but here we are. So
Here we are. Here you are. I love that. Okay, so where can people find you? And, especially if they want to buy online, where do they go for that? And then where can they find you here locally? And then what digital products and stuff, how can people access that?
if you go to our website, which is Love, vibefoods.com, we have our locations in there. So we have 3 locations in Colorado. We also, if you order whatever, we have third-party delivery, Uber, Uber Eats, etc. We also have an online loyalty program that you can join to get like the latest updates of what's going on. And you can order food ahead and have it ready because we're all really busy and we make everything to scratch. So sometimes it's great to just have your order in there and then we'll bring it out to you, like just run it out. If you want things shipped, we have a tab that says ship, and that's where we just launched our new store. And there's a lot more to come with that. In fact, we just added today a wellness box on there. So it's a combination of broths and juices and baked goods and some other fun things. So like for a gift for somebody or just, a treat for somebody who just had a baby or a surgery or whatever, it's great. But we have a lot more things that are going to start filling that out. And then we actually are linking our Stan store on our website as well. So, but if you go on Instagram today, you'll see there's a link there. You can get to our digital products. And that we're about ready to just explode with and really build out. So there's some there, but there's going to be a lot more there soon.
I'm so excited for those
Yeah.
because you have free things coming, and well, I think you have free things in there right now. And then you also have, is your do you have a call that people can access yet, or is that live? Or
Yep.
okay,
Yep. I
cool.
have a
Yeah.
consult call in there. And then we're going to be doing a webinar here soon for
Oh, the
all
webinar.
that, where we can like actually like talk about and give advice individually, on there,
Oh,
like kind
goose
of format, but like if
goosebumps.
somebody has a question or whatever. So
Mhm,
it'll be
mhm.
live and it'll be once a week for, I think we're looking at 6 weeks, something like that. So
Amazing, Shannon.
just a lot
Amazing.
coming between now and July. So just, yeah.
Yeah, stay tuned. Go follow her on Instagram. Okay, so I just want to tell all the listeners just how excited I am to know you and just have your time today. And thank you so much. And if you found value in this podcast, please give us a shout out, subscribe, tag us on social. Shannon, I adore you. And thank you so much for hopping on. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.